Today, I have the honor of reviewing Evo Energy's fuel line kit. I'll go through all of the fittings, a little bit about the hose, the instructions, and then how to lay out for your hot rod, how to lay out and figure the number of connectors, type of the connectors. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag right now. I laid these two out, and I am confident that with this one kit, you'll have all of the fittings that you'll need. If you need something special for your circumstance, I'll also show you where you can go pick up individually anything special that you need. So first, let's start out with most likely what you're going to use the most of. These straight fittings. In the kit, you'll also get 290 fittings. You'll get 245 fittings. And you'll get 180 fittings. The 180 fittings, even though they look kind of funny, but they can get you out of a jam if you have a fuel pump that's close to the fuel rail or a bracket. Hang on to those. You'll also get these. These are adapters. This is a 3/8 fuel adapter. And these are the female version. You get 2 3/8 and 1 5/16. And you get 6 separators with their Allen wrench to go with them. Now, a best practice for these separators is if you have a line close to another line, is just use it to every so often to put them together. And what that does, it stiffens your line, straightens out your run from the back to the front. You could even clamp onto a transmission line, for example, because here's what you want to avoid. They're going to help you to avoid the condition when you have your fuel line kind of sag. You can't have the fuel line touch something that's rotating underneath. And you cannot have your fuel line laying on something really hot, a header, the collector, or the muffler if it's close to the front. So make sure you use these to route your line and keep it away from those dangers. Now, we have 20 feet of this fuel line. I measured a heavy Chevy from the gas tank, just a rough measurement to the front where I have the fuel pump and I'm going there. And it was 10 feet, giving it a lot, okay? With 20 feet, I have no doubt that we can use this line to plumb the heavy Chevy. Okay, but let me tell you a little bit I told you about the fittings. Let me tell you about the line. The line is what they call a PTFE line. And PTFE lines can handle diesel, your fuel, and all of your fuels. They can even handle hydraulic fluid. So I'm going to take this fitting that I put on another tape. And you'll notice that your fittings have your back shell, this ferrule, and then here's the front part. And each fitting has that, okay? So what you'll want to do is when you use this hose, the factory put in some nice tape for us there. Wherever you make your cut, just put some electrical tape there. You can use a hacksaw, you can use a cutoff wheel. And what you will do is, once you cut it, take off your tape, and then just like comb. You have this outside protector. It protects against abrasions. You have an inside. You have actually steel, braided steel. And then you'll see the white PTFE hose. So you kind of just take the strands out of that and straighten them out a little bit. And then you're going to make sure that your ferrule is pushed in all the way. And the directions team for this are wonderful. Don't think, if you think I'm going too fast, the directions are great. Make sure if you just look at them, you'll totally understand. and then your fitting, you put your fitting in there, boom. You're gonna come in with your, you showing the back, and just push in and twist, okay? And you get it done. Now, in another video, I'm gonna show you what tools, okay, you may want to buy, especially if you do this a lot, that'll make this part a lot easier, okay? So let's talk about the hose. This hose is a 6AN PTFE. Where did AN come from? AN fittings mean they're a 37-degree metal-to-metal fittings, okay? So there's no gasket, there's no O-ring or anything like that. That's why once you have your connection there, it's good. They're used for aircraft and race cars. If you're building a hot rod, it's a race car. And it stands for Army-Navy Standard. It came out in World War II. Okay, so let's see if we have enough fittings. Let's figure this out. Okay. I got, in this, over here I have my carburetor, and I have my fuel injection, and I have my V8 block in the middle. It's a 454 or LT1 or whatever you want to make it, or a 440 Magnum, whatever you want to make it. Okay, let's say you're going to plumb a carburetor. You have your fuel cell, fuel tank. If it's a fuel cell, you'll use one of the inverted fuel adapters, a straight, a 90, go to your fuel filter, another straight, it's going to go to your fuel pump with a straight, out with a 90, and because the line will go all the way to the top, you may not even need a fitting here. Make sure that your fuel line, okay, the turn in the fuel line is greater than 3 degrees. I mean, it can't be 3 degrees, 3 inches, okay? You want to make sure you don't kink it too much, okay? Right, so a very basic, you may throw in, I don't know what, you may throw in a fuel pressure gauge, okay? However, I am confident that the fittings in this kit are going to help you to plumb for a carburetor. Fuel injection. Let's see what we need. We have a fuel tank. The thing about different is that your fuel regulator is going to go back, has a return back to the fuel pump. So this line, I didn't drive, but goes back into your fuel cell. So let's start out with a supply. Inverter to a straight. It's going to go down to a 90, to a filter. You want to have a filter anytime you have an electric fuel pump. You have to save that fuel pump. That's what that filter is going to do. It's going to have 180, and depending how far away you put them, you may have another 180 or not. A 90, more PTFE line straight to the supply on your fuel regulator. It's going to go out with a 45 to your fuel rail. It'll also go out with a straight all the way back to your return in your fuel cell. I think it's extremely unlikely that you will need to buy another fitting, but you won't know till you lay it out. You're underneath your car, you're measuring, you lay it out, you find out. Okay, so then you say, hey, I need a special fitting because I have a special vehicle. Okay, go to Amazon.com/evileye, okay, and boom, you'll get all of the pictures and the specs for all of the Evil Energy fittings. And if you need a special one or something like that, you can get it there. Overall, this is a great kit to get, okay? I'm not going to say it's a basic kit. I'm going to say it's an advanced kit. You know why? Because thinking about carb and thinking about E85, I am confident that all your fittings will be there. What you want to do, you guys, is make sure you look at your directions. Your directions are very clear, very well done. And if you're like me and you need to see it done by somebody else on their website, they have a lot of good videos. Okay, wish you best of luck. And on your hot rod, Evil Energy, thank you for giving me the opportunity to review your your kit. Oh, almost forgot. Okay. Right now, if you use my project code, which is ESG10, and I'll put in the video, you can get 10 to 15% off. So if you're going to need to plumb a hot rod anytime soon, get in there and do your measurements, your counts, and go to Amazon.com/evileye and put in that project code ESG10 and get 10 to 15% off. Thank you very much and hope to see you again soon.